but just with regards to the war. So I'm curious, like, what, for people that have not been part of a war, who are lucky enough to not have gone through it, like, will you describe, and obviously there's currently in Ukraine, so it's, I guess timely in a sense, like, what is it like to be like truly in a war, even if it's only for a couple of months?
You can understand what people are going through, but without feeling it, it's completely different.
Right.
We know it's sad what is happening in Middle East, in Yemen. Millions of people are starving and kids. But the war in Ukraine, because it's Russia, and we were in war with Serbia.
Right.
Serbia is close to Russia. Kind of you feel that it's happening close to us. It's happening in Europe, in the democracy, basically. Yeah. So you kind of 22 years after what I've been through, one of the sudden, I had dreams, even though at that time I didn't have kids. When the war in Ukraine started, I felt it so much. I started having dreams that I am escaping from war, trying to save my kids. So you see, the trauma is in here.
Right.
So you might think that, yes, it's over, but it's in here. So I don't know, the fear of, as I said, not just being saved, but being killed easily as a kid. It's a lot. And your entire life, that will follow me.
What is so what was like the day-to-day like in surviving a war when you're there?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you a sequence of what happened. One night they start burning our neighborhood and we escaped. So how our neighborhood was built, so walls next to the houses, they had like a small doors. So it was not from the main entrance door, but within the mall, the walls, we were escaping, and we were maybe approximately 200 people within one house. And within one room, I remember I had these pens, and my mom put in my pocket a lot of pills and things because we didn't know what might happen. And it was all dark. In meantime, NATO was bombing Serbia. And when they putting bombs, like you had that feeling that the whole house was shaking and everyone was at some moments, they've been trying to escape. That what is going on? You don't know. It's dark. You are all packed. Like we were laying down. I remember I was next to the kitchen cabinets. And during the night, when there is something burn, you have this feeling that is very near you. So everyone was saying, oh, that our house is burning. And I started having panic attacks. For the first time, I remember I couldn't breathe. Because it's so hard to think or to see that your house is burning. Like it burns all your memories and everything. And I remember they were giving me some pills and water. But in the morning, when I saw the roof of our house, that it was not burnt, I cannot tell you the feeling of that happiness that it's not burned. So there are a lot of moments. Or when we had a cousin that came and she said that her father-in-law was burned alive. And that night was the moment my dad decided to leave, and we left to Albania because we didn't know. There are thousands of people disappeared from my city. They lost a lot and they got burned. I remember the smell of the burned people, the smell of the burned flesh. So
and when you're escaping,
when I'm escaping, I was seeing these things.
Like you see, it's just dead people all around.
Yes, dead people, burning, police, paramilitary groups on the street. They stopped our car and asking my dad, where are we going?
The
He
Serbians
said,
asked?
yes. Yeah. And we said, yeah, we are going to Albania. And he said, yeah, you were supposed to leave early because over 1 million people left Kosovo.
Wow.
And I remember he was telling us like, yeah, then you are never coming back.
Wow.
So all these things affects also your personality. It makes you stronger. And that's why having a kid on my early 20s and doing this job, I couldn't easily decide just to be a journalist covering daily political events, go to the conference, write about that. Yeah. But it was not enough for me.
And when you guys escaped, like how long is that journey from?
It's like 3-4 hours drive at that time, because we were stopped at the border and we had to hand in all our documents, like passports, IDs,
Wow.
everything. You
So
kind
you
of
just give it and you just
everything, kind of, you do not exist as a human being.
Wow.
So you had to put everything. I remember that thing with hundreds of passports, IDs.
And they don't try to kill you?
No, because we've been escaped. Like, they were like a lot of people escaping. Every day they were escaping. So as soon as we got at the border with Albania, we were sitting in the car. I think my dad was talking to some people. And I remember one journalist came near us and he's been asking us where we came from. And I started speaking English. And then he said, would you come next to my colleagues? And I remember I was surrounded by these big mics. And it was, and then, we went to this, we were trying to find a place where to sleep, and where, there were thousands of people on the street.
So where do you sleep? Where do you go?
Yeah. So we find a house. They've been welcoming all the refugees from Kosovo. And I remember the first house that we went, because we changed, the room was colored with very dark colors, maybe just because we escaped war. And it was not white. It was like red and bluish, something like that. And I remember the anxiety we had, and we've been crying like we don't want to stay here. Because it was the fear following us. And then my dad was trying to find a little bit better place. We wanted to go to the refugee camp, but my sister, she suffered from asthma, and we couldn't because the conditions were horrible.
Right.
And then my dad found a place, and we were staying then for like a month and a half.
And so, do you guys have any money at that point or anything?
We had some money, and I remember there were a lot of international organizations. They asked us if you want to go abroad. But my dad was saying, no, the war will be over soon, and we didn't know that.
Right.
And we are going back. We are going back. He didn't want to leave Kosovo. And I remember there was this two men and a woman that came in the house. They were interviewing us because there were a lot of opportunities at that time to come in the United States, different EU countries.
Right.
They organized with planes, so to do the displacement. But my dad refused, so he wanted to go back.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram at felix.levine. And if you have something to say, please leave a comment.